नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे. Lectures from Colombo to Almora. We are discussing on the Vedantism lecture. Thus, I have tried to bring before you the salient points of our religion, the principles. I have only to say a few words about the practice and the application. As we have seen, under the circumstances existing in India, naturally many sects must appear. As a fact, we find that there are so many sects in India, and at the same time, we know this mysterious fact that these sects do not quarrel with each other. The Saivite does not say that every Vaishnavite is going to be damned, or the Vaishnavite that every Saivite will be damned. The Saivite says, "This is my path and you have yours. At the end, we must come together." They all know that in India. This is the theory of Ishta. It has been recognized in the most ancient times that there are various forms of worshipping God. It is also recognized that different natures require different methods. Your method of coming to God may not be my method, possibly it might hurt me. Such an idea as that there is but one way for everybody is injurious, meaningless, and entirely to be avoided. O unto the world when everyone is of the same religious opinion and takes to the same path, then all religions and all thoughts will be destroyed. Variety is the very soul of life. When it can, when it dies out entirely, creation will die. When this variation in thought is kept up, we must exist and we need not quarrel because of that variety. Our way is very good for you, but not for me. Your way is very good for you, but not for me. My way is good for me, but not for you. My way is called in Sanskrit my Ishta. Mind you, we have no quarrel with any religion in the world. We have each our Ishta. But when we see men coming and saying, "This is the only way," and trying to force it on us in India, we have a word to say: we laugh at them. For such people who want to destroy their brothers because they seem to follow a different path towards God, for them to talk of love is absurd. Their love does not count for much. How can they preach of love who cannot bear another man to follow a different path from their own? If that is love, what is hatred? We have no quarrel with any religion in the world, whether it teaches men to worship Christ, Buddha, or Muhammad, or any other prophet. "Welcome, my brother," the Hindu says. "I am going to help you, but you must allow me to follow my way too. That is my Ishta. Your way is very good, no doubt, but it may be dangerous for me. My own experience tells me that what food is good for me, and no army of doctors can tell me that. So I know from my own experience what path is the best for me. That is the goal, the Ishta, and therefore we say that if a temple or a symbol or an image helps you to realize the divinity within, you are welcome to it. Have 200 images if you like. If certain forms and formularies help you to realize the divine, God speed you. Have by all means whatever forms and whatever temples and whatever ceremonies you want to bring you nearer to God. But do not quarrel about them. The moment you quarrel, you are not going Godward. You are going backward towards the brutes. These are a few ideas in our religion. It is one of inclusion of everyone, exclusion of none. Though our caste and our institutions are apparently linked with our religion, they are not so. These institutions have been necessary to protect us as a nation, and when this necessity for self preservation will no more exist, they will die a natural death. But the older I grow, the better I seem to think of these time honored institutions of India. There was a time when I used to think that many of them were useless and worthless, but the older I grow, the more I seem to feel a difference in cursing any one of them, for each one of them is the embodiment of the experience of centuries. A child of but yesterday, destined to die the day after tomorrow, comes to me and asks me to change all my plans. And if I hear the advice of that baby and change all my surroundings according to his ideas, I myself should be a fool and no one else. Much of the advice that is coming to us from different countries is similar to this. Tell these wiseacres, I will hear you when you have made a stable society yourselves. You cannot hold on to one idea for 2 days. You quarrel and fail. You are born like moths in the spring and die like them in 5 minutes. You come up like bubbles and burst like bubbles too. First form a stable society like ours. First make laws and institutions that remain undiminished in their power through scores of centuries. Then will be the time to talk on the subject with you. But till then, my friend, you are only a giddy child. I have finished what I had to say about our religion. I will end by reminding you of the one pressing necessity of the day. Praise be to Vyasa, the great author of the Mahabharata, that in this Kali Yuga there is one great work. The tapas and the other hard yogas that were practiced in other yugas do not work now. What is needed in this yuga is giving, helping others. What is meant by dana? The highest of gifts is the giving of spiritual knowledge. The next is the giving of secular knowledge, and the next is the saving of life, and the last is giving food and drink. He who gives spiritual knowledge saves the soul from many and many a birth. He who gives secular knowledge opens the eyes of human beings towards spiritual knowledge, and far below these ranks all other gifts, even the saving of life. Therefore, it is necessary that you learn this and note that all other kinds of work are of much less value than that of imparting spiritual knowledge. The highest and greatest help is that given in the dissemination of spiritual knowledge. There is an eternal fountain of spirituality in our scriptures, and nowhere on earth except in this land of renunciation do we find such noble examples of practical spirituality. I have had a little experience of the world. Believe me, there is much talking in other lands, but the practical man of religion who has carried it into his life is here and here alone. Talking is not religion. Parrots may talk, machines may talk nowadays, but show me the life of renunciation, of spirituality, of all suffering, of love infinite. This kind of life indicates a spiritual man. With such ideas and such noble practical examples in our country, it would be a great pity if the treasures in the brains and hearts of all these great yogis were not brought out to become the common property of everyone, rich and poor, high and low, not only in India, but they must be thrown broadcast all over the world. This is one of our greatest duties, and you will find that the more you work to help others, the more you help yourselves. The one vital duty incumbent on you, if you really love your religion, if you really love your country, is that you must struggle hard to be up and doing, with this one great idea of bringing out the treasures from your closed books and delivering them over to their rightful heirs. And above all, one thing is necessary. For ages we have been saturated with awful jealousy. We are always getting jealous of each other. Why has this man a little precedence and not I? Even in the worship of God, we want precedence. To such a state of slavery have we come. This is to be avoided. If there is any crime seen in India at this time, it is this slavery. Everyone wants to command and no one wants to obey. And this is owing to the absence of that wonderful brahmacharya system of yours. First learn to obey. The command will come by itself. Always first learn to be a servant and then you will be fit to be a master. Avoid this jealousy and you will do great works that have yet to be done. Our ancestors did most wonderful works and we look back upon their work with veneration and pride. But we also are going to do great deeds and let others look back with blessings and pride upon us as their ancestors. With the blessings of the Lord, every one here will yet to do such deeds that will eclipse those of our ancestors, great and glorious as they may have been.
Okay, shall I start?
Yes.
Jananīṃ Śāradāṃ Devīṃ Rāmakrishnaṃ Jagadgurum Pādapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamāmi Muhurmuhu Namah Shri Yatirājaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukasvarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Dear devotees, Swamiji gave one lecture on Vedantism and we discussed four lectures series over, and this is the fifth one still we are discussing. So here we can see how Swamiji has really packed the ideas in lectures or in his talks. Yeah. And also previous time, I think two questions took away all our class. That's okay. So Swamiji himself is saying that whatever he has to say for that particular lecture on Vedantism, especially on Hinduism, so he has given. Now he is winding up his talk. And if you remember, we did try to discuss about the nature of creation, nature of mukti, different type of muktis we discussed, and karma doctrine we discussed, and the nature of the soul we discussed. And the when we say the soul is atma, atman is divine, means the divine means it is a science of infinite possibilities we discussed, and how the mother, the queen, Madalasa, used to take care of her children, and that is a parenting, how the parenting should be done, ideal parenting, what is our Vedic ideal parenting is being told by Swamiji. After discussing all these things, now Swamiji is concluding his talk on Vedantism. He tells beautifully that I have given the principles. I have given the overall principles of the Vedantism or Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism, and but the practice is most essential part. We have to look into it. We have to look at that angle. And there, while discussing the practical aspect of the Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism or whatever, he brings the harmony of religions and harmony of sects. He mentions it. And if you see, the Semitic religions especially, they all say that my way is a highway. My religion is the true religion. My God is the real God. So if you don't accept, I will cut down your throat or cut down your head. That's what, if not all, many of the Islamic people have done, or they tell. And as Swamiji himself says, through sword, they, they cover the other lands, or they spread their religion. And in the Christianity, in different ways, sometimes sword, sometimes politics, and sometimes money, in different ways, they did spread their religion. And most of them, they say their religion is the only true religion and everyone has to accept. Otherwise, you will go to eternal hell, or you will not get moksha or mukti or heaven. For them, moksha, mukti is heaven. Contrary, in India, every path is a God. Every path can reach God. Now, here we have to be very careful. When we're quoting Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda, harmony of religions doesn't mean, or they have never meant, all religions are same, all religions are equal. They have not said. It is very, very important. Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda has said that all religions are true. So all religions are true means all of them are capable of taking every religion, every path, spiritual path is capable of taking us. If we practice sincerely, it is capable of reaching the God, reaching the self-realization, God realization, or going to heaven is being told. But all religions are same, all religions are equal, all paths are equal. They have never said we should not use this word. Many times people do this mistake, including sometimes even our moms. Then some religions are superior, some religions are inferior. No, we don't mean that. But only means all religions are same, all religions are equal. We keep on making this comment. Devotees and many people quoting Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda, we say that Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda has never said only they are all true, provided when they can take the us to reach God. Now, Swamiji is telling that very interestingly. Shaivate, Vaishnavate, Shakta, and Ganapatya, whoever used to worship Ganapati as the supreme deity, everyone had their own path, their scriptures, and their practices, but we didn't have any problem. Like the Shaivate never went and quarreled or murdered or killed Vaishnavite. Similarly, Vaishnavite didn't do it, nor Shakta did. For example, in Bengal itself, Shaktism and Vaishnavism have been so important, two important cults, they are going together. So Vaishnavas didn't go and quarrel with the worshippers of Kali, and the worshippers of Kali or Dashamaha Vidya or any Tantra sadhana, 64 Tantra sadhanas are there. The worshippers or the followers of tantric practices, they didn't go and quarrel or fight with the Vaishnavas. There were philosophical debates. Whoever wins the debate, whoever loses the debate, he has to follow the person who has won. That we see in some places. And hardly, maybe very few incidents which has happened in the name of religion. There are some quarrels, there are some bloodshed has happened in India, we don't say no, but it is very, 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 very minimal. It is almost negligible. Even for example, in Tamil Nadu, we can see between Shaivas and Vaishnavites, there were some quarrels. And in southern part of India, between Hinduism and Buddhism, or Buddhism and Jainism, some quarrels have happened, no doubt. In the western part, between Buddhism and Jainism, some quarrels have happened, no doubt. But they are just, you can count in the fingers. Means they are very, very limited. And when you come to West, the quarrels happen between the tribal religions and Christianity, which is called pagan, they say, and tribal religions between Islam. And between Islam and Christianity, the quarrels that have happened, the bloodsheds that have happened, if you read the history, then you will get a lot of respect towards Hinduism or whatever. And among Islam and among Christianity, there have been a lot of quarrels. So keeping all this, Swamiji is making this statement. So now that's where I say, if you have read history, then we'll be able to understand and appreciate Swamiji's talks much more relevant. Otherwise, we'll have piece of information about our own culture and about others' culture. Then sometimes we feel Swamiji is exaggerating the India Hinduism. We may feel or we may think like that. It is not so. And one more important point here we have to take is the theory of Ishta. Ishta Devata, we all know that. All of us, we have got Ishta Devata. And why it is necessary, we all know that. Because it is a path which we have to take. And here he's saying, he's almost equating the theory of Ishta with the path actually. We take one Ishta because we have to remember, we have to pray and we have to do japa and all these things. Theory of Ishta Devata, Swamiji is saying beautifully, very beautifully is mentioning that is your path. Path means Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gnana Yoga, or Advaita, Vishishtadvaita philosophy only we think. It is not only that, even the Ishta Devata which you are taking, which you are accepting, that shows that what path you have taken. Why? The Devata represents the frequency. The Devata represents a particular mode of frequency. That means a path you have selected. Different frequencies we have got. X-rays has got particular frequency and wavelength. Y rays or gamma rays has got particular frequency and wavelength, and Devatas also represents particular frequency and wavelengths. So when I take a Ishta Devata, that means I'm choosing particular frequency and wavelength, particular path, particular mood, particular emotions and feelings. That's a very quite interesting. And in Tantra Shastras and Vaishnava Shastras, these are much discussed in detail. And afterwards, Swamiji is saying that the diversity is the hallmark of the Indian life and Hindu life, means religious and spirituality. We had so many gods and goddesses, we have got so many isms, and we have got so many philosophies, but we never had any problem. We live together, we are living together, and yours, okay, whichever the path suits you, you take that path, and whichever suits me, I take that. So, but don't press your path to me, and I will not press my path to you. That is the beautiful thing which Hinduism has taught. That's what I'm just telling. And also there can be a thing, okay, if that is the case, then we may lose our religion, we may lose our culture. Many people, they speak of it. And there should be only one religion. And many people, many youngsters I have seen, oh, in Christianity, if you read the Bible enough, and in Islam, if you read Quran enough. But in India, we have got so many scriptures. We have got Vedas, we have got Puranas, we have got Upapuranas, and we have got teachings of saints, and Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Dharmashastras, what? We have got galaxy of scriptures. So we get confused, we get baffled, what to read and what not to read, where to start. Sometimes people do make this comment or a question or serious doubt even. So for all of them, I say that, though Vedas are the base for us, but in spite of that, you take any one book, you take Bhagavad Gita, or you take one Upanishad, or you take one Bhagavata, or Ramayana, or Mahabharata, any one book, read it, study it, and start following. That is enough to reach your goal. Don't get bothered too much. Don't get bothered even. That's the one thing. And Swami Vivekananda, in elsewhere, in one of his lectures from Colombo to Almora, he makes a beautiful statement that Indians, 3/4 of the Indians in the olden days, of course, not in the present day, in the olden days, 3/4 of the Indians, they spent majority of their time and energy in the knowledge pursuit. That is the reason so many philosophies have come, so many isms have come. And I wonder why only so many, only few, why there should have been many actually, says Swamiji. What a beautiful and magnanimous idea Swamiji is telling, is giving. We have to understand. So, and also he says that this is the only way, my way is the only way, is not our Indian way of thinking. Then live and let live. Let me live happily, and I will allow also you to live happily. But at the same time, Krishna also has said, Swamiji also said, this point we should not forget that if someone comes and disturbs us, we will give warning once or twice. Otherwise, afterwards, we'll hold their colors and say, be aware, otherwise I am going to punch you. This is what our Kshatriya Virya has been told. Ahimsa is not all the time. If someone is troubling us, troubling our parents, troubling our religion, troubling our country or culture, we should not keep quiet. Once or twice, okay. Afterwards, you have to make them understand. We have to hiss, not bite. We have to tell them all these things. Otherwise, we have to teach the lessons We have to protect our country and religion and culture. These things has been told by Krishna and Swamiji very clearly. And afterward, Swamiji is telling very clearly, why do we need Ishta Devata? And why do we need temples? Why do we need idol worships or idols and scriptures, all these things? They are all supporting. They are all supporting instruments for us to reach God. Though God is Parabrahma, is Sachidananda, Nirakar, Nirguna, Parabrahma, Upanishads have told, no doubt. But how many of us we can remember? How many of us we can conceive and perceive or worship? Oh, for example, Brahman, consciousness, it is not the body, it is not the mind, it is not the object, it doesn't have any form. Okay, fine, you try to worship, try to meditate. Your mind gets blank. It doesn't have any form. It doesn't have any shape. It doesn't have any color. It doesn't have any attributes. That's all fine. Very nice to hear. But can we worship? Can we meditate? Can we continue our spiritual practice? No, it has become difficult. Why? Because our strength and limitations of our mind is, it needs name and form. Nama and Rupa, it needs. Parabrahma, it is a name actually. It is a name. Ramakrishna, it is a name. Krishna, Shiva, Durga, Kali, Jesus, whatever you say, it is a name. Without name, we cannot conceive anything. And Rupa form. How much ever say we say Advaitic meditation, when we say, oh, Atman, you try to say Nainam Chintantisha, it cannot be killed by any weapon. It cannot be burnt by any fire. It cannot be wet by any water. It cannot be dried by air. That is consciousness. That is an awareness. Try to meditate. Try to think. Knowingly or unknowingly, our mind starts assuming, saying that, okay, consciousness is like maybe a ray of light, or maybe like a sky, or maybe just like a light ball, or maybe like a fire, or something divine, like a blue colored light or whatever. So it tries to think of some form. The name and form is our strength of our mind, and it is also limitations of our mind. Knowing all these things, our forefathers, they gave these symbols. Omkara maybe, swastik maybe, or even, for example, what you say, any idols. Why do we do idol worship? Because with this name and form, we will start our worship, and slowly, we will go to that formless. From Sakara, we will go to Nirakara. You may go or you may not go. That is fine. It is no necessary. But to reach that Nirakara state, you need Sakara. That's why idol worship, all these things are. And one more point I would like to tell, 33 crore gods we have got. Oh my God. Other religions, they have got 1 or 2. We have got 33 crores God. Now, whom to worship? Now, this is also a ignorance and over-exaggeration. Why? I think koti, the word koti for crores, koti is also used in Bangla, I believe, isn't it? Now, why? Because there are 33 crores. Why? Because the 33 koti is told in our Vedas or Puranas. Now, koti, the one meaning, the Sanskrit word called koti, the one meaning of which we all know that it is called crore, no doubt. That's why 33 crores we say. But actually, there is also one more meaning, which is right. 33 crores means the crore is also a type actually. I mean, I think namone we say, I think we use a word in Bengali also, namone. It is a type, for example. 5 type of sweets are there. Isn't like, there are 33 crores means what? There are 33 type of gods. There are only 33 gods listed by one of the Purana. Now, there are few variations. If you say in Skanda Purana, if you see in Padma Purana, if you see in Bhagavata, and if you say in one or other 2 Puranas and some other text and all, there are different variations. This 33, sometimes it can be less and sometimes it can be more. But this 33 crore gods, that that explanation has become famous, and 33 crores means what? Not 33 crores exactly, 33 types of gods we have got. Now, 33 gods means, again, all of them are not with a G. It is a small g. So, with a capital G God, and gods means it is with small g, gods and goddesses. They are different officers and they have got different powers and positions. So, we have got different gods, fine, gods and goddesses. They are all different officers. And 33 crores, no, 33 types only. You have to understand. And apart from that, we are not pantheistic or polytheistic. We are monotheistic. There's only one God, no doubt. And that God has been called by different names. Either you call by Brahma or Vishnu or Shiva or Durga, Kali, Saraswati, Lakki, or whatever you can call it, one God we are calling by different names. That is also very, very interesting. And we have not quarreled in the name of religion, unlike other religions or unlike other societies. So we have to be very clear. And our religion or our Vedic view of life, Vedic philosophy is what? It is inclusion and exclusion of none. And if you remember, when you hear, if you have studied and if you remember, gospel should come easily to your mind. When some tantric practices, there are backdoor practices also, which are not quite healthy and which are not quite, we can speak openly, and probably it is not very gentle, so called. When Swami Vivekananda rebukes about that, Sri Ramakrishna corrects him. Why do you speak like this? There are also paths. Okay, there are backdoor practices, never mind. But there are also paths by which one can reach God, one can reach Mother. So you accept it. Why do you deny it? Now you see, inclusion of everything. That's why Swami Vivekananda says, Sri Ramakrishna came not to criticize, not to deny anything. He came to amalgamate everything, inclusive everything, to give a strength to every path, every religion, or every ism, or whatever. That's what Swami Vivekananda speaks of Sri Ramakrishna elsewhere. So Hinduism means it is inclusion, not exclusion. So someone recently asked, do you accept Allah? I said, yes. Do you accept Christ? Yes. If you accept one more new God comes, we don't have any problem to accept. Then where is the problem? And the problem is when you say that your God is the only true God and my God is not the God, then only the problem comes. Then I will start rebuking you or start giving a retarded reply or whatever. Otherwise, I don't have any problem. And one more important point he says, and elsewhere also Swamiji, he was so strong enough, and he was, he had such a strength in America 150 years before around. He says that you guys, now you are so-called well advanced country, you are behaving, you are believing, and it may be a fact, but what is your history of your nation, birth of your nation? Just 400 years. India has got the birth, the history, if you go, it is thousands of years. And there have so many ups and downs we have seen. So many people have come and they have tried to rule us, etc., etc. So many ups and downs we have seen, and we have survived. And you are a 400 years, just 400 years birth nation. You are an infant in front of the Indian culture and civilization. You want to teach us what to do and what not to do. What foolish and what childish, he says. Swamiji says these statements in America for Americans, imagine. And same thing he's telling again here. Come on, Western societies or Western countries, don't teach us what to do and what not to do. Something are better in your country, no doubt. We will understand, we'll accept, we will try to implement. We should implement for our survival and for our growth, no doubt. But that doesn't mean that everything is good, everything is right for you, in you, and everything is bad and everything is inferior, everything is not right in our country or in our religion, in our culture. This is a wrong thing. Scientific temperament and westernization, there are two different things. We have to be very careful. Whatever comes from West, everything is scientific and rational. No. Some are, but not all of them. We have to be very careful. And that's what recently I was making a joke. Why? Because some Westerner used the jeans pant or the torn jeans pant, for example, and we purchase 400, 500, 800 rupees we give, and we purchase a torn jeans pant and we wear. Why? Because it is a show. Because some Westerner did. I said, sometimes I used to tell for youngsters, why do you do this? Instead of that, purchase 200, 300 good pant, you give to the beggar, he'll feel happy and you'll get some punya, and you get his torn pant and you wear it. Why do you waste your money? And what indecency it is, what nonsense it is. Because Westerners they did, and we are also doing it. And the jeans pant started actually the people who are working in the fields because of that cold country and they were not able to wash and all. That's how the jeans pant came actually. The jeans, really, the history of jeans, if you see, it came that's how. Anyhow, but today, whether I say or not, whether you say or not, people are using it, that's fine. You use it, I don't say no. But what I wish to say is, whatever comes from the West, everything is not rational, everything is not scientific, be clear. For example, 20, 30 years before, in southern part of India, in Kerala and southern part of Karnataka especially, they used to use coconut oil for everything. for cooking, just like in Bengal we use mustard oil. So people said, the doctor, so-called doctor said, oh, be using coconut more, you will get cholesterol. So then slowly, people stopped using cholesterol and they started purchasing sunflower oil or groundnut oil or so-called whatever it is. Why? It was just, people, because they were paid. That's the reason. Mafia, it is a medical mafia. And now today doctors are saying that, no, using coconut or coconut oil, it is good for health. So there is no problem for your health. Then why did they, 20 years before that, did say? Because it's a medical mafia. They wanted to promote sunflower oil. They wanted to promote their products. That's how, in the name of scientific research and analysis, they tell all this nonsense. So we have to be very, very careful. That's what Swamiji is telling. So don't come and give lectures for us. You are all just yesterday and day before yesterday born. And you got your own problems. You got a dustbin. You got a big trash in your backyard. And why are you coming and showing your fingers to us? See, British India, Swamiji is speaking, their Indians had lost their confidence in themselves, in their country, in their forefathers, and in their culture. Swamiji is slapping them and said that start developing confidence and pride in your country, in your culture, in your religion, in your forefathers' thing. At the same time, he has also scolded very badly or very sharply that what mistakes we have done Indians. And at the same time, he's giving us, he's assuring the confidence that be proud Indian and Hindu or whatnot. That's what Swamiji is telling. And centuries we have seen ups and downs, and what you are speaking. For example, the Roman civilization, where it is in museum. Greek civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, and Babylonian civilization, Mayan civilization, Egyptian civilization, Persian civilizations, all these so-called big, very big civilizations, as if they were trying to cover the entire world. That's what it happened at some point of time. Now, where are they? Most of them are remnants, you can see, and if few of them or many of them are able to see only in museums. But whereas Aryan civilization, it is growing. It has seen ups and downs. It has changed a lot, no doubt. Even say 10,000 years, the present wise people, the so-called wise people, they give 10,000 years for the Rig Vedic time. 10,000 years before, whatever he studied, Agni Mele Purohitam Yagnasya Devam Ritvijam, the first mantra, even today, whoever studies Rig Veda, he studies the same mantra. This 10,000 years, a tradition has been preserved and has been given to successive generations. It is not that easy. So-called pagan religions, whatever we see history in the Europe, you don't find anything. For example, Parsi, Jamshedji Tata and all, they come from Parsi. Parsi is meant from Persia. Iran, the present Iran, Zoroastrianism, Zoroastrianism was there. Now, and if you see their scripture and our Rig Veda, there's a lot of similarity. And even they say that we have influenced each other. Okay. Now, where you see the remnants of Zoroastrianism in Persia or in present Iran, you can't see. They're completely wiped off. 8 centuries more or less, or 7 centuries, Mughals or Muslims they ruled, and 3 centuries, Dutch, French, Portuguese, British they ruled us. But still our country and we have lost larger area. We have lost many temples. So many people, they got massacred or they martyred, no doubt. But still our country, our religion, our culture is still intact to larger extent. Though we have lost and we are losing, no doubt, but still it is not a small thing. We have to feel, we have to take pride in that, and we have to go further. So that's what I'm saying. From history, if you read, if you know history, and when you're reading Swamiji's each line, you'll be able to enjoy and you will be able to understand how Swamiji has minutely observed all these things and how beautifully he has portrayed or how beautifully he has presented to the society, to the country, and to the world at large. And this particular Swamiji is telling about the Vyasa and Kali Yuga. The Dana is very the best. But I tried to find out exact reference, but I didn't get exact references in any established scriptures like Puranas or in Bhagavata. But there are some, for example, there are some shlokas attributed to Vyasa and etc. So probably there, based on that, I think Swamiji is telling. There's a one shloka like this. Shlokardena pravakshami yaduktam grantha gotivihi papaya pirapidana. Means after reading 18 Puranas, someone asked it seems, oh Vyasa, you are an intelligent man, you don't have any other work, so you have written 18 Puranas. But we are all common people. We don't know Sanskrit. We don't understand so much. We don't have time to read. Can you give the essence? It's a shortcut method. So can you give the essence of the Puranas? Someone asked, it seems. Again, it's a hearsay. Whether it really happened or not, we don't know, and we don't have any evidence for it. Then he said, why to tell in one sloka? I will tell in half sloka. Can you tell essence in one sloka? When they asked, are few slokas? They said, why few slokas or one sloka? One sloka is 2 lines, not even 2 lines. One sloka, half sloka means only in 1 line I will tell the essence of Purana. Slokardhena pravakshami. I shall say the essence in Ardha sloka. Yaduktam grantha kotibi, which thousands of scriptures or crores of scriptures which will say. What is that? Paropakaraya punyaya. What is punya? What is right? Paropakara, helping others. Papaya parapidanam. What is papa? Sin, not the Christian sin, I mean, Hindu sin. Sin or evil is troubling others. So probably the similar shloka, so many shlokas are like this. Probably one of the shloka is Swamiji is referring. And one more, I think, shloka also is there in one of the scripture that in the, there is called Yuga Dharma. In Satya Yuga or Kruta Yuga, in Kruta Yuga or Satya Yuga, tapas was the Yuga Dharma itself. Okay, and in Rama's time, yagnas, yaga yagnas, following the truth and yaga yagnas, that sacrifices, was the Yuga Dharma itself. And in Treta Yuga, in Krishna, they will tell something I'm not able to remember. And in Kali Yuga, Nama Japa, that is chanting the Lord's name, is the Yuga Dharma itself. So every Yuga has got its own Yuga Dharma according to the Kali Yuga. So the Yuga Dharma is what? Nama Japa. Anyhow, now Swamiji is quoting the Vyasa is saying that what is the Yuga Dharma is dana, giving, helping others, giving alms or whatever. Among them, what is the gradation? The highest dana, the highest alms giving is what? Spiritual. Means when you give spiritual knowledge for people, maybe through lectures or through counseling and whatnot. So spiritual knowledge, transferring or giving, sharing the spiritual knowledge is the highest dana. Then the next level, next lower level comes giving the secular knowledge. You are teaching maths and science, English and etc. That is. And the third is giving the food or the clothes. And the fourth is giving the food. Like that, Swamiji is telling that. Then one more interesting point, Swamiji is telling that people may talk, but very few people practice religion. One who practice religion, then they will reach the God. So be careful about it. So you have to practice religion. How? Through love, through renunciation, and through spirituality. That is what spiritual man is. Love and renunciation is very, very important. And not only that, in the West, they spoke much of religion and very little they practiced. But in India, if not all, in a larger portion, from the larger angle point of view, they spoke and they did try to practice. They did try to put into practice. Okay, after all these things, Swamiji is telling one more important point. Swamiji tells selfishness and the jealousy. These are the two great problems which created a problem, which have eaten the backbone of India. And especially, and especially the jealousy. Jealousy has eaten the backbone of India, Swamiji says very clearly. That's why on the later side, I keep on saying that hockey should not be our, national game. Kabaddi should be the national game. In Kabaddi, what do you say? You try to pull. A person, he touches you and he wants to go and touch the line because he wins. And all of us, we try our best to pull his leg so that he will not touch the line and we will win. So jealousy is the greatest problem of Indians, which has eaten the backbone of India. So it is very clear. And this jealousy comes from the weak mind, from the slavery mindset. It is from the weak mind. So Swamiji is telling how to control this, how to eradicate this. Obeying my seniors, obeying the leader. We have got today, I started and day after tomorrow and day after tomorrow or 3-4 days, I will work for some organization. 5th day, I should be a leader. If I don't, then I will open one more organization, new company, new group. And especially, sorry to say this, in Bengal, I see a lot. Any other day, a new political party, new other group, a new other company or whatever, it keeps on happening because of the history. Whatever, I'm not saying it is bad or good, it is because of the history. So we don't, what do you say, follow the commands. And Swamiji is saying that follow the command. For that, you need a lot of strength. And he says that why it is not happening? Because of the lack of celibacy, lack of brahmacharya. It is nothing but the weak mind. So first, right, obey your master. First, learn to be servant. Then you will fit to be a master. And avoid the jealousy, all these things. That's where you see in Ramakrishna Mission. Whatever it may be, whether you like or not, whatever, senior monks, when they say, or Adhyaksha of the ashrama says, or senior monks say that, we have to keep mouth or shut and we have to follow. Sometimes it may looks like it is like slavery, or what about our personal things, what about our freedom, etc. All these things. When I joined, in few days I used such statements, and I got such a slap from my senior, one of the senior monk, and I never, made any. I was not courageous enough to use this. What about the individual freedom or our personal space and etc. etc. No, of course, we need all these things. What I wish to say that in the name of personal freedom, in the name of personal liberty, we take so much, and it is also a type of weak minds or whatever. So once you start obeying, for some time at least, if you obey, then you will understand where to say yes and where to say no, how to say, where to say, when to say no. You will understand. So very, very important. I mean, there's interesting thing. Even like my coming to Ireland was fixed. I mean, training. I mean, Beluma asked, and it was decided. Resolution was passed, and I came to Delhi from Mysore, and I also had applied for visa, and visa was supposed to come. Then Belur had asked, before you are leaving, you come to Belur and take the blessings of all the senior monks and discuss with us, and afterwards you can go back to Mysore. And when you get visa, you can travel to Ireland. I said, then then I was supposed to go, and Adhyaksha Maharaj in Mysore, he was saying, because of some work, you go late, let us see, he was saying. At some point of time, Maharaj, please, I don't know when visa will come and when I have to start all these things, so please allow me to go to Belur. He said, fine, and what to? 3 days Belur, and of course, that because of COVID, 1 week I had to be quarantined, then 3 days Belur Math, 1 day Kamarpukur, 1 day Jarambati, 3 days Kashi, and coming back. That's how the whole program was fixed. Then 1 week quarantine over, then next day report came, and the COVID report came negative. Thank God, then I went and I made pranam to all senior monks and discussed with the General Secretary Maharaj and others. 3 days probably I was there, and just time passed anyhow. Then I went to Kamarpukur one day, Jairambati. Next day I came back to Calcutta. Then I was in Swamiji's house. Then I was supposed to go next day, 1 or 2 days at least, all the local centers, whatever is possible. Then I was supposed to go to Kashi and come back to Mysore. Then I finished Kamarpukur, Jairambati. Anyhow, they were pressing me to stay more. I said, sorry, I don't have time. And I came back to Swamiji's house. And next day morning, I started for Dakshineshwar. Immediately a phone call came from Mysore saying that there's some emergency, means there's some work, important work, please come back. They said, now itself, we are ready to book the flight ticket. I said, Maharaj, at least I'm going to Dakshineshwar. After going Dakshineshwar, I will go to, at least allow me to go to Udbodhan. I will take mother's blessings, and late afternoon, I'm ready to fly. They said, okay. And they booked the ticket and they sent, and I flight back. Then some of the monks and people, or maybe if not monks and devotees or volunteers, now yourself, you are a ministry in charge, and the ministry in charge designate, and you are going to a different country. When you are coming back, we don't know whether you'll be able to go to these places. You don't know. Why did you say yes? You could have said easily, sorry, no, and all. I said, till I am in Mysore, my Adhyaksha is our Mysore Adhyaksha Maharaj is our Adhyaksha. And when senior asks, when the order asks us to come back and to do serving, and if I say no, then how can I say that there's all karma yoga? Maybe, yes, I couldn't go to Kashi, never mind. I couldn't visit other places which I was supposed to, never mind. When Sri Ramakrishna gives a chance, I will visit all that, never mind. But when the seniors asks us, when the order asks us to serve, definitely we should, until otherwise there is a very strong reason or whatever, we should not say no. Saying that come, and we came back. And some of the times people used to make a fun of me. You belong to Gandhi time, whatever it's. But that's how we were trained by the senior monks when we joined. It looks probably ridiculous. It looks very uneasy or whatever in the present day context, especially among the youngsters. But that's how one we grow. There we are, we are trying to, suppress, or we are trying to kill our own egos, our own likes and dislikes. It is a part of renunciation. When we do all these things, then our ego, when it's crushed, it can crush our egos and likes and dislikes too much. Then what happens? The real spirituality can grow. That's where the obedience has been told by Sangha and our gurus and our senior monks, and including Swami. Swami tells very clearly in the rules, which has been available only for monks and brahmacharis. There he says, if you don't come and throw him out, throw him into fire, or whatever he says. Swamiji was very sure about all these things. So commanding the gurus' teachings in our life as we devotees as spiritual aspirants, very, very important. We give all logics and our own, logics, not to follow the teachings of Thakurma Swamiji or Gurudevs, etc. There, no. And similarly, with our parents and with our elders, we have to follow this. So when it comes to dharma, when it comes to ethics, morality, if someone is asking us to tell lies, so if someone is asking us to cheat, then we can say no for anyone, whoever it may be. But otherwise, for all our likes and dislikes, small, these petty things, we should try to be obedient, and we should try to follow the instructions of seniors. Then what happens? Our egos gets crushed and our personality becomes better. So may Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda bless all of us, so that we shall try to understand these things more and more, and we shall try to put into practice. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Any questions?
Thank you, Maharaj. We like your dose. You sometimes give us this dose, no?
What dose?
This, these are your spiritual dose, no? You last day, like you gave last day. So
And one
Maharaj,
more.
you were telling that in August you will be busy. So what about the next class?
Yeah, August will be difficult. Yeah, maybe I will tell sometime. Whenever is possible, just I will intimate 1 or 2 days before. I will intimate you so that you can inform the group.
Okay.
Yeah. One more, I wanted to give a spiritual task, spiritual project for all of you. This is told in the Mantra Shastras. In some of the Mantra Shastras, this has been discussed, and it is called Akshara Laksha. Akshara Laksha. Akshara means, syllables or letters. Laksha is lakhs. So the Tantra, according to one of the Tantra Shastras, there's a mention that if any mantra, this standard thing, of course, there is always, exceptions are there. Any mantra, if it has to happen siddhi, mantra siddhi, then you have to do akshar laksha this. So for an example, now Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Say we have taken this mantra. This mantra has got 12 letters. So minimum, we have to chant 12 lakh times. So once we chant 12 lakh times, then we can expect mantra siddhi. Now, if you are spiritually advanced, you have got a very high moral life and high religious, spiritual life and devotion, concentration, all these things, maybe doing 50,000, 10,000, 5,000 also can happen. By chanting 12 lakhs also may not happen because of our life and etc. Even there are some commentators or some monks also have said, because in the Kali Yuga our mind is so down and weak and it has got a lot of trash and so many things, evil actions we have done. Evil actions means not killing only. It's maybe telling lies, cheatings, and etc. All small petty things, mistakes we have done. Because of that, 4 times you have to do more. Means 48 lakhs if you do, then you will get mantra siddhi. Anyhow, that is a some people's opinion. But according to the Shastra, scriptural opinion is but Akshara Laksha. So if it is 12 letters, if in a mantra, then it should be 12 lakhs, for example. Now, every one of us, we have got that, mantra japa, mantra diksha. It may be 8 letters, it may be 9 letters, or it may be 10 letters, or whatever. So why don't you think, or why don't you keep a spiritual project for 1 year, maybe 6 months or 1 year, according to your capacities, according to your availability. In this 1 year, by this time you are done. If you have 5-10 years, how much you have done, I do not know. You might have done. So take the spiritual project. In this 1 year, I will do the Akshara Laksha. I will do Akshar Laksha. So in 1 year, I will say 9 lakh. For example, your mantra, whatever you have got from your guru, it has got 9 letters. Like Om, 1 letter, Ain, 1 letter, Ra, 1 letter, Ma, 1 letter, Kru, 1 letter, Sna, 1 letter, like that. So 9 lakhs, I will try to complete. Or in 1 month, I will try to complete 1 lakh. That comes around 3,000. 3 to 3, 30, 90 happens. And one more little if you do. So 3 to 5, 6,000 if you have to do actually. 3 to 5, 6,000, one if you do morning and evening and all. I mean, sometimes people may say, counting we can distract and all these things, fine. It's all individualistic. It's only my suggestion is, and I tried this and really I felt happy, and the peace and my experience or the quality of meditation, everything became so beautiful. I've tried this, and after my trying only, I'm giving you this spiritual project. Whoever is interested, whoever is serious, try to do that. So in 1 year or 6 months or whatever, I will try to do this Akshara Laksha. So you will get some confidence also. And you can tell afterwards, Thakur, this was my capacity. I've done the Akshar Laksha Japa. Why are you not showing me, or why are you not, at least some vision or whatever is not happening? Why I'm not able to get spirituality, spiritual practice or progress or whatever? Still, you can ask also to Sri Ramakrishna. You will have all the right to ask Sri Ramakrishna. Though he's not obliged to answer, but still you will have a right to ask him. ঠাকুর কেন করছেন, আমি এত করেছি কেন আপনি দিচ্ছেন না কেন বলে জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারে। দেখুন একটা আলোচনা করুন, এটা খুব ভালো হয় কিন্তু। One more experiment I did, which was very interesting. I mean, these things that, of course, I don't tell with everyone. That mother says very clearly, terms and conditions apply. I say 10 to 15,000 japa every day you do for few years, 3 to 5 years, and you come and ask me if you don't get peace. She says very clearly. And we do 108 and 208 or 308 or at the most 1,000, and we say Kicho Ochana Maharaj, Kicho Ochana Maharaj, Kicho Ochana Maharaj. See, mother has told very clearly 10 to 15,000 per day you have to do it. Don't give all reasons. And because she was the greatest householder, and she did. She's a mother, that's different issue. We'll say that we brush aside. But 10 to 15,000 every day, if you do, yes, you will get peace of mind and spiritual progress and other things. That much hard cycling we should do. Real spiritual progress has to happen. Though there is no hard and fast rule, there is no cause and effect like, if you do 10, 15,000, you will get moksha or mukti. We can't say like that. But the more and more you try to do it, probably the more samskaras, divine samskaras you'll be able to get, and the quality of meditation gets improved and whatnot. If you are really sincere enough, devotion enough, even doing 108 also can bring devotion, can bring Thakur. Of course, it has to be accepted, no doubt. But if you have got that confidence, no doubt, that is more than enough. Otherwise, try to increase the quality and quantity and quality both. Then slowly, then you will be able to get some spiritual progress and experience or whatever, etc. So just I thought some of you are serious in the spiritual pursuits. So that's the reason I thought I will discuss with you and give the spiritual project for all of you to accomplish.
Maharaj, this 10,000 jopas, is it full day accumulation of morning, evening all together plus mental japa? All
Yes,
together?
yes.
But mental japa, how do I keep count?
That is up to you how to count.
Excuse me?
For example, I did, because or Malika also asked, I gave, this is just 10 rupees.
Yeah.
Small one. See, for example, even if you put it, you can put into the, in the hand itself, like this. And it is electronic machine, 10 rupees or 20 rupees. Just you keep on pressing it. And you can keep your own ways of...
Okay. So now I will show you something. You say that whether that is allowed or not. See, I have this jantra with me. This is a jantra. It is like a mala japa. It's with a count.
Yes,
okay,
I know.
And it is used for japa only. If we go to the internet, we get find, and I have bought this and I use this when I go to the mission. Like you have to hide your hand and all this. So I do it, but this gets into the hand very easily, so nobody can see it. So is it, and there is a count also here. Is it
Yes.
is it okay if I do through this?
Yes. See,
Yeah.
main
Okay.
thing is, see, our intention should be Alambana. So that's so at least, for example, you take a Sankalpa, oh, because mother has said 10 to 15,000, let me slowly increase and I'll try to do 10,000. Sitting and doing some japa, and of course, while walking or while doing some work and etc., I shall try to do. So
And
somehow
now
you
how to count the
remember you
letters in a mantra? How to count the letters in a mantra? So Om is one letter, and each letter is to be counted. So that will be as many letters, those many lakhs.
yes.
Okay.
Maharaj, if we do the japam with some other work, then it would be mechanical, right?
Yeah, sometimes it can be mechanical, no doubt, but you can be also a bit mindful also. Slowly, if you by doing it, you can be mindful. Okay, other if you feel, oh, that's okay, I do it, but I don't want to count, that's fine. You sit and do 10,000, what is that?
No, then who is going to do the work?
Then,
No,
yes,
but
that's what
those
I'm
will
saying.
those repetitions will be counted.
Can be counted. See, instead of not doing anything, or okay, I cannot count Swamiji because I'm not completely concentrate, I don't have a concentration, and saying that you don't count, fine. And at the same time, I'm not counting, and just as much as possible, I'm trying to do, you say that, and many times we forget in the work and all. Now,
Yes.
this taking this projects is makes us to expedite our spiritual progress. Oh, daily 10,000. I have to do it somehow. So I try to remember, I try to, but initially it might come as a compulsion or force, but slowly doing it becomes natural, and linking Guru Maharaj in your whole day, it becomes easy. It becomes probably easy for us. That is the intention. That is.
No, but while doing other work, it is difficult to count even with the counter. Means we
Okay.
can chant, but that count will not be.
Yeah.
You
That's what
cannot just put that ring and do other work, right?
I do. I do it.
Maharaj, this alternate, the you said one is mantra letters and those many lakhs, or 10,000 per day. Which one is better?
There's no which is better, which is not better. Scriptures tell, the scriptures won't give that option at all. Scriptures tell very clearly that Akshar Laksha has to be done for mantra siddhi. That is that. And mother has told very clearly, if you want peace, daily do 10 to 15,000 japa. Now, if you want peace, you do 10 to 15,000 japa. If you want what is say mantra siddhi, then you do Akshar Laksha japa.
Huge task, Maharaj.
Sorry,
It's a huge task, Maharaj.
is it? Maybe I don't know. Sorry to say this. I didn't feel no. I didn't feel yes.
But
I
if
didn't feel that.
mental japa is counted, then it's possible. No,
Yeah,
Maharaj?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Some people also argue, oh, Swamiji, we don't like to count because our quality may get down because bhava is important, quality is important. If you feel strongly about it, then go ahead. That's all. I have no problem of counting, and by counting, I get more concentration and not distraction. And scriptures also has told that so many number. If you do, it is better. They have said. So I'm doing it. I'm comfortable with that. And when I did it, I got that help, or I got that profit, or whatever say use. So that's how I'm saying. Now, some of you may feel, oh no, just meditation is more important, or I feel I enjoy more in meditation, or just I try to remember, I try to do Japan as much as possible, but I don't like to count. By counting, I may get distracted. If you feel strongly, and if you are sincere enough, that's fine. Then don't bother about it. Then, as much as possible, try to remember that. That's all. Only be careful that mind is not cheating you. That's all. That's what I'm saying. There's no hard and fast rule with all these things. This is a one path. So, yeah. Yes, Nilanjana, is it clear for you?
Yes, Maharaj.
See, even 1 year, if you take, for example, 9 lakhs, for example, even per month, 90,000 easily you can do. Per day, 3,000 if you do. Morning 1,500, evening 1,500, per month it becomes 90,000.
Yeah, Maharaj.
Now that's I've given 9 months or 6 months. I didn't give 3 months. I've given 1 year, so you've got some grace period also. That's where mother says, in the olden days, Rishis did so much tapas, standing on one leg and Himalayas on the fire and etc. etc. And you do little japa and Guru Maharaj should come to you. I mean, and sometime mother said that. So you want Guru Maharaj, and if you want that mukti, yes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for my case. Its problem is that when I look upon to the numbers, japa becomes very much mechanical.
Try to manage. That's what I'm saying. If you feel that without that you are able to have a good amount of meditation, good amount of japa, then that's fine. But if you're confident about it, yeah, without counting, say 1 hour or 2 hour or 3 hours, whatever is maybe, the japa meditation quality will become better for me. If you're strong and sincere enough, then go ahead. Yeah. Soaking our mind in the Rama.
For me, I think.
We have a Japa Jagga group from Bombay only, conducted by Khar mission. I'm a member in that. So they asked us to do meditation. It's a group meditation. During COVID time, actually it started. So that they ask for 1 hour continuous like that, without interruption. So we have been doing this since a few years now, but only on Sunday and 1 hour like that. So that is the starting point. Yeah.
In Belagaum, in Karnataka, one of the center, they do japa yagna. Every month they try to do, I think. 3 days for that. They give a task of in 3 days, they should, every aspirant should try to do 1 lakh japa.
In 3 days. 3 days means 3 days means per day 33,000.
3 days or 5 days. I mean, 3 days, I suppose, or maybe 5 days, I don't know. I think 3 days, if my memory goes.
Even 3 days, it is 33,000 per day.
It is nice. Nice.
মহারাজ যদি ঘুরবো ফিরবো ঠাকুরের নাম করব, হ্যাঁ, যদি কাউন্টও না করি, মনে মনে ঠাকুরের নাম করতে থাকি, মানে যে জপমন্ত্র, তাহলে হবে?
হ্যাঁ, হবে, কোনো অসুবিধা। কিন্তু কত করতে পারবেন জানি না। একদিন আপনি হয়তো 1000 করেছেন, আর একদিন মন ভালো নেই বলে 100 করেছেন। এটাই অসুবিধা হতে পারে, এটাই অসুবিধা। যার আমাদের সব যেমন মন থাকে এরকম করি তো আমরা। একদিন খুব ভালো মন আছে, মানে অনেক করে ফেলেছি 1-2 দিন, আর ওদিন মন খারাপ হয়েছিল, আর ও ঠাকুর সব চলে গেল কোথায়, আমরা করতে পারি, এটাই অসুবিধা।
Maharaj, actually we started in Jiggasu every Tuesday like that. But then at that particular time, invariably something or the other happens and it has stopped.
That's where I say, in few things we should not use too much logic.
You need to put your mobile off during such time.
Yes, definitely. But means apart from mobile, some household duties or something has come up.
Keep it flexible. Morning or evening, whatever you are supposed to do, you do it, and keep other times flexible, and you take it individual. That's the reason. That's where Sankalpa comes into picture. In 1 year, I will do Akshar Laksha. When you take a Sankalpa, then you are left with no other choice. Initially, you start with 1 or 2,000. Then after a month or so, then you can increase by 3,000 so that you will try to manage your life and your work style or your responsibilities and all. So when you take a Sankalpa, you are forced to do it and you will do it. Otherwise, what happens? Few days, okay. Afterwards, mind cheats us. Give all the reasons and all. আরে ঠাকুরের জপ কখন করলে তো হবে, কিভাবে করলে হবে, কত ভাব করলে হবে, ঠিক আছে, কত করেছি এটাই দেখতে হবে। মানে কারো করতে পারে নিশ্চয়ই, তো আমি তো না বলতে পারবো না, কিন্তু অনেকের সময় কি হয়, আমাদের মন যেমন যে ভাব থাকে ওদের যে ফ্যামিলির মধ্যে, কাজের মধ্যে, এরকম আমরা করে থাকি। সো মাচ অসিলেটিং থাকে আমাদের মনে, বিকজ আমাদের মন অসিলেটিং থাকে, আমাদের জপও অসিলেটিং হয়ে যায়। সেই জন্য এগুলো সংকল্প করে করতে গেলে একটা নিষ্ঠা আসবে আর একটু ভালো হতে পারে বলছি। আর সে আমাকে একটা কাজ হয়েছে, সেই জন্য আমি বললাম। আপনাদের নিজের জীবনে দেখতে হবে, নিজের আপনারা আলোচনা করে নিশ্চয় করতে হবে।
আমাদের মন তো সবসময় অশান্তই থাকে, এটাই তো আমাদের। হ্যাঁ,
করতে হবে ঠাকুর ছাড়া কেউ নাই আমাদের, সত্যি বলতে। সেই জন্য ঠাকুরকে ধরতে হবে। ও থাকবে। আর যে আমরা কালকে মুকেশ আম্বানি আদানির মতো হয়ে গেলে তো ওদেরও অশান্তি থাকবেই। ওদেরও অশান্তি থাকে না? আমরা এরকম ভাবছি আদানি আম্বানি হলে আমরা অশান্তি থাকবো না বলে, ওদের গেলে আর অশান্তি বেশি হতে পারে, জানি। সেই জন্য ঠাকুরকে ধরতে হবে, আর কিছু করার।
Maharaj, in this class, we are seeing the best example of Advaita, because whatever you see may not be true, because it's a reflection. I can see you and Chandani Vasu both are in the same place. Background is the same. So, so, so it's a clear example.
Yeah, that is true. Anyhow, okay. See, I have whatever. Just most of you are sincere sadhakas. That's the reason I've given this spiritual project. If you feel okay and if you can do it, you take it. Otherwise, if you feel difficult or some other way is the best for your spiritual path, definitely I will not discourage any of you. Definitely you can go ahead if you have got a particular knowledge.
খুব শ্রদ্ধার সঙ্গে জানাচ্ছি যে আপনি আমাদের এরকম একটা কাজ মানে আমাদেরকে অ্যাসাইন করছেন, এটাতেই আমরা নিজেদেরকে খুব মনে করছি যে আমরা এইটাকে একটা হিসেবে টাস্ক হিসেবে নেব। এটা সত্যি আমাদের ভেতরে একটা বেশ ভালো লাগা জন্ম দিচ্ছে আর কি, ভেতর থেকে একটা ভালো লাগছে আর কি।
আর আমি নিজে একটা এক্সপেরিমেন্ট করেছি, 11,000 প্রত্যেক দিন ঠাকুরের জপ করতে। আমি সংকল্প করে বসতে কিছু আর হাঁটা ওয়াকিং এর সময় এরকম আমি অনেক দিন এরকম একটা মন্ডল করে করলাম। কত আনন্দ হয় জানো, মানে বলতে পারবো না। অসুবিধাগুলো আসতে থাকে, কখনো কখনো মন একদিনে এদিকে ওদিকে হয়, সবাইয়েরও হয়, আমাদেরও হয় কিন্তু কত আনন্দ থাকে মানে ও ঠাকুরের নামে অত কি মিষ্টি আছে আর অত শক্তি আছে। সেই জন্য ভালোভাবে করতে হবে, যতটা পারি আমরা করতে হবে। 100-200 করলে কিছু হবে না।
Maharaj, I accept to appear for the exam, and next year, 24th July, we will remember, because it is Uttam Kumar's death anniversary. So that is how we will remember. So that next year, Uttam Kumar death anniversary, I will report to you. Yeah.
And there is a joy in achieving the target also. We'll take the target.
The problem is being consistent for 1 year. Means we may start, but we may lose the into.
That's why I say you take sankalpa. When you take sankalpa, you don't have left with no other option. You have to do it.
See, I am appearing for my engineering final. Simple. So I have to do it.
No, we have also taken another task, but now I am thinking of quitting. We decided that we will learn by heart 5 Gita shlokas per week. But now that after 20 means we started with the 4th chapter, and because we were starting 4th chapter from Revered Ranganathanandaji's book. So now after that, from 21, slok number 21 onwards, it is becoming so difficult that it is it is impossible to remember even one. So that is the problem.
I will appear for this objective test because it's easy for me, because you have started taking a descriptive test. You have to Gita and all this. So, but this Maharaj was given the examination method very easy actually. So
because you are already practicing Japa Yagga for so many years, so you are in the practice probably. But okay, we will start. Definitely we will also start.
Okay, আমি বলছি স্টার্ট করুন, যদি সাকসেস হলো না হলো,
No,
যতটা ঠাকুরকে বলতে পারি আমি শরণাগত হয়ে, ঠাকুর এটাই আমি আপনার নামও বেশি বলতে পারছি না, আমি
সবেতেই ঠাকুর আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকলো।
যে অতটা আমি করতে পেরেছি আমি আপনার মানে সম্মুখে এটা নিবেদন করি, আমাকে রক্ষা করুন, আমাকে ভালোবাসুন, আর একটু ভক্তি দিন, এটা বলতে পারলাম।
Sarupa has some question, I think.
মহারাজ, আপনি যেটা বললেন জপ করার কথা, দিনে কোনো নির্দিষ্ট সময় ধরে জপের সংখ্যা মনে রেখে একবার সিরিয়াসলি করার কথা, সেখানে জপ আমরা কত তাড়াতাড়ি বা কত স্লোলি করছি এটা কি ম্যাটার করে? মানে মন্ত্র সেখানে উচ্চারণ কতটা পরিষ্কার বা কতটা সুষ্ঠু বা ঠিক উচ্চারণ হচ্ছে সেটা কতখানি ইম্পর্টেন্ট?
ওটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট, ওর মধ্যে কোনো নাই, মানে সন্দেহ নেই। মানে আমাদের যে মন্ত্রগুলো আপনি মানে কত ফাস্টে করছেন, স্লো করছেন, ধীরে করছেন আর তাড়াতাড়ি করছেন, এটা কোনো নিয়ম নাই। কিন্তু মানে মানে এটা যে অক্ষরগুলো স্পষ্ট উচ্চারণ করতেই হবে। ইউ হ্যাভ টু প্রনাউন্স ইট প্রপারলি।
মানে তাড়াতাড়ি করতে
হবে, এটা মানে ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল হয়ে যাবে। আমি এটা আপনাদের ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালি হয়ে যাবে। যতটা পারেন আপনি ক্লিয়ারলি বলতে হবে, লাইক ওম আইম রাম কৃষ্ণায় নমঃ, এরকম বলার দরকার নেই। ওম আইম রাম কৃষ্ণায় নমঃ ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু না, ওটা চলবে না।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা,
এরকম মানে স্পষ্টভাবে বলতে হবে আর কি।
ঠিক আছে মহারাজ, এটা জানাচ্ছি। প্রণাম মহারাজ।
কিন্তু কাকু বই পাচ্ছে না তো, এটা কি মহারাজ, এটা তো আমাকে একটা বড় প্রজেক্ট দিয়ে দিলেন বলে।
না মহারাজ, এই প্রজেক্টটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমাদের চাই।
খুব ভালো হলো মহারাজ এটা।
মহারাজ আরেকটা প্রশ্ন ছিল, সেটা হলো কোনোদিন যদি স্কিপ হয়ে যায় পরের দিন কি সেটা অ্যাডজাস্ট করা যাবে? মানে ধরুন ট্রাভেল করছি বা হয়তো
এরকম নাই, তুমি আজকে তুমি 2000 বলেছিলি আজকে করেনি, তোমাকে ক্ষতি করবে বলে ঠাকুর বলে না। আমাদের ঠাকুর, ওটা কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। হ্যাঁ, কোনোভাবে একদিন হয়নি, দুদিন হয়নি, আর কোনোভাবে কিছু হলো, অসুবিধা হলো, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। মানে একটা সংকল্প করবো, যতটা পারি অতটা করবো বলে আর কি। আর ওর জন্য কোনো শৌচ নাই, কেউ মরে গেল তো আমরা করতে পারবো নাকি? হ্যাঁ, কোনো ঠাকুরের জপ করার জন্য কোনো এগুলো নাই, শৌচ মানে যে বলি আমরা এগুলো এই সময় সব সময় করতে পারি আমরা, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। আর আমি বড়দের সাধুদের জীবনে দেখেছি আমরা, অনেক সাধুদের যখন ওরা সিনিয়র মানে হয়ে অনেক রেসপন্সিবিলিটি থাকে, এদিকে ওদিকে ঘুরতে থাকে, তবু সকালে বিকালে যে ওরা করার আছে পুরোটা করেই শুয়ে পড়বে অনেকরা। আমি দেখেছি, অনেক সাধুদের জীবন দেখেছি। মানে এরকম নিষ্ঠা হতে হতে কি হয়ে যাবে জানেন? ঠিক আছে, আমি প্রত্যেক দিন অত সময় করব বলে ভেবেছি, পুরো দিন আমি ব্যস্ত ছিলাম, কাজকর্মদের মধ্যে কিছু না বলতে পারবো না, পাইনি। ঠিক আছে, রাত্রি শুয়ে পড়ার আগে বসে জপ ধ্যান করে শুয়ে পড়বো। মানে এরকম নিষ্ঠা আস্তে আস্তে হয়ে যাবে বলছি, হবার উচিত আমাদের জীবন মধ্যে। এটাই বলছি আমরা, সিরিয়াসনেস যখন হলে, আর যদি আমরা ঠাকুরকে ভালোবাসে স্টার্ট করলে আস্তে আস্তে এটা হয়ে যাবে। আরে ঠিক আছে, ও দিন আজকে ওকে কথা বলতে ছিল, আজকে না হলে কালকেও কথা বলতে পারে। একটা যেন ফোন ধরলে আধা ঘন্টা চলে যাবে, আর আমার জপ হয়নি আজকে, ঠিক আছে আমি জপ করে দেবো আজকে, পরে দেখা যায় কালকে ওদের সঙ্গে কথা বলবো, কেন ও তো আর্জেন্ট নাই, ইম্পর্টেন্ট নাই। এরকম অনেক আমাদের জীবনে অ্যাটিটিউড গুলো আসবে, আমাদের সময় এগুলো অ্যাডজাস্ট হয়ে যাবে বলছি। ঠিক আছে,
You have given that freedom, no, that not that we have to be prepared and sit in the asana and do the 1000 japa at a stretch. Not, we can do it anytime throughout the day while doing other works and everything, right?
yes, see, as much as possible sit and do is better, no doubt, that is the best way. But as much as possible you try to do sit and do as much as possible, and rest of the thing while walking and while working also you can do.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Just connecting Sri Ramakrishna in our life different times, just like Taila Dharavat. Like every work you are doing, cooking, cleaning, and doing driving, you are walking somewhere, traveling. Even then also you are doing japa. So that's how you are trying to remember Guru Maharaj.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Pranam Maharaj, thank you.
Pranam
Pranam
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
মহারাজ
Pranam Maharaj.
Pranam Maharaj.
অসাধারণ হলো আজকে